It started with boredom. A dull, mind-numbing kind of boredom that creeps in when you've gone too many nights without real sleep and the internet becomes a rabbit hole you can't stop falling into. It was 3:17 a.m. I'd already blown through half a dozen true crime threads, a cursed image subreddit, and a forum that claimed to catalog forbidden knowledge. That's when I found the link. No title. Just a tiny, red symbol beside it, and I slightly open. The thread had one post. Mystery boxes are real. Most are scams. This one isn't. Don't buy it unless you're ready to follow the rules. Beneath it was a .onion link. I should have clicked away. I didn't. Curiosity doesn't kill the cat. It unravels it. The box. It arrived 5 days later. No return address. No label. Just a plain black box sealed with red wax that bore the same eye symbol from the forum. Inside, a small burlap pouch filled with dirt and something that smelled like blood. A hand-carved wooden figurine, featureless, except for a jagged mouth carved into its face. A key. Old, rusted, cold to the touch. A single, yellowed sheet of paper, folded 3 times. The paper had 4 instructions. 1. Place the figurine in your bedroom before midnight. Do not speak to it. 2. Bury the pouch under your house. If you live in an apartment, bury it where your shadow first touches the earth. 3. Keep the key with you at all times. Never try to use it. 4. No matter what happens, never destroy the box. I remember laughing when I read it. It felt like a game. Like someone's idea of a creepy ARG. But I followed the rules anyway. I told myself it was for the story. Content for the channel. Clicks. Engagement. Now I know better. At midnight, I placed the figurine on the top shelf of my bookcase. It stood awkwardly, mouth open like it had been frozen mid-scream. I joked out loud, "Guess you're my roommate now." Then I remembered rule number 1. Don't speak to it. I laughed it off, told myself it didn't count. Still, I didn't sleep. Burial. I don't have a backyard. Just a crumbling old balcony 2 floors up. I checked the time, 7:06 a.m. The sun peeked over the horizon, casting long shadows. I stood still, watching where mine first touched the concrete below. Then I climbed down and buried the pouch right there in the dirt beside the building's foundation. I didn't feel right after that. Like something had shifted. Like I had just signed for a package I didn't remember ordering. The key. The key was always cold. Even when I held it in my fist for hours. Sometimes, when the apartment was dead quiet, I swear I could hear it humming, faint, metallic, like distant chimes echoing through water. The third night, I woke to a noise. Click. Like a key turning in a lock. But every door in the apartment was closed. No windows open. No signs of a break-in. The figurine had moved. It wasn't on the shelf anymore. It was on my nightstand, facing me, mouth wide. The rules. I reread the instructions. 4 rules. 4 steps. It didn't say what would happen if I broke them. But I'd already done it. I spoke to it. Even if I was joking. I told myself it was fine. Just paranoia. Sleep deprivation. Still, I moved the figurine back to the shelf, locked my bedroom door, and shoved the key into the back of my closet. The hum grew louder that night, like the walls were vibrating. Things changed. The next morning, there were scratches on the inside of my bedroom door. Not from a key. Nails. Long, deep gouges carved into the wood from the bottom up. I live alone. The figurine was back on my nightstand again. Closer this time. Like it had taken a step forward. By the 7th night, I stopped sleeping altogether. When I closed my eyes, I could hear whispers coming from the closet. Not words exactly, more like invitations. A rhythm. A pattern. Calling me. I started dreaming while awake. Visions of tunnels beneath my apartment. Of things waiting in the dirt beneath where I buried the pouch. Smiling. Watching. Breathing without lungs. The closet. I broke rule number 3. I used the key. I don't even remember deciding to. I just found myself in front of the closet door, shaking, key in hand, like something behind me was guiding me there. The lock turned with a click I felt in my bones. The light inside the closet flickered and went out. I stepped in. I didn't find clothes. Or walls. The inside was deeper. A narrow hallway of pulsing black wood and wet stone stretched out before me. Far down the hallway stood the figurine. Taller now. Its mouth still open. But this time, so were its eyes. I ran. Slammed the closet door. Locked it. Threw the key down the garbage chute. But that night, the door creaked open on its own. Now, it's been 3 days since then. I haven't left the apartment. I haven't eaten. Haven't slept. The figurine is gone. But I see the scratches on the walls moving slightly every time I look away. Something's coming through. And tonight is the 30th day. I remembered something else about mystery boxes on the dark web. Someone said the boxes are like invitations. You don't open them. They open you. Just now, my phone lit up. A new notification. A message. From a number I don't recognize. Rule number 5, leave the door open tonight. I didn't scroll. I didn't move. Because just outside my closet door, something is knocking. The knocking didn't stop. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. Then silence. Then again, 3 more. Like a metronome keeping time with my heartbeat. I sat frozen on the edge of my bed, staring at the closet door. My phone slipped from my hand and hit the floor with a soft thud. I didn't reach for it. The air had changed. Thicker. Like the oxygen had curdled. I could smell the dirt. Rule number 5. It hadn't been on the original list. There were only 4. Now there was a 5th, and I didn't know who or what had written it. Leave the door open tonight. I didn't. I locked it. Deadbolt. Chain. Even wedged a chair under the knob. The knocking continued anyway. At 3:33 a.m., it stopped. The silence that followed was worse. Because now I couldn't be sure if it had gone. Or if it had come inside. I tried to sleep. I couldn't. When I closed my eyes, I saw that hallway again. The one inside the closet. Black wood. Breathing stone. And at the end of it, something moving. Not walking. Crawling. The mirror. I don't own a mirror anymore. I threw them all out after the 7th night. But this morning, the bathroom mirror was back. Hung perfectly. No dust. No fingerprint smudges. Just clean, like it had never left. I stared into it. My reflection stared back. Then it blinked. But I didn't. The voice. That night, it spoke. Not in a dream. Not in my head. Out loud. Clear. From inside the closet. A voice like gravel sliding through a throat that forgot how to be human. You already opened the door, now open yourself. I screamed. Pushed the dresser against the closet. Turned every light in the apartment on. Sat in the bathtub with a knife in one hand and my phone in the other, ready to call someone, anyone. But no matter what number I dialed, all I heard was breathing. Slow. Wet. Patient. The photos. The next morning, I woke to 47 new photos on my phone. All taken between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. All of me. Sleeping. From inside the room. Different angles. Closer each time. In the final photo, a hand is reaching toward my face, long fingers. Skin stretched too tight. Nails sharp enough to cut glass. And in the corner of the frame, the wooden figurine. Smiling. The key came back. I threw it away. I know I did. But last night, it was in my pocket. Ice cold. Humming. I tried throwing it down the sewer. Burning it. No matter what I do, it always comes back. Wherever I go, the key finds me. Which means, so does whatever it belongs to. Today, there's something under my skin. I can feel it moving. Tiny shifts beneath the surface. Like my nerves are being rewired from the inside. Sometimes I catch myself smiling. Not because I want to, but because something else is happy. The closet door is open. I didn't open it. It was open when I woke up. The hallway is there again, longer than before. Pulsing. Stretching out like it wants me to follow. And I think I can hear them. Not just the voice. Voices. Dozens. Hundreds. All whispering the same thing, over and over. Finish what you started. Finish what you started. Finish what you started. Right now, the figurine is gone. But there's something in its place. A box. Not the one I ordered. A new one. Smaller. Wrapped in flesh-colored wax paper. No return address. No label. But tucked underneath it, another note. Written in the same jagged handwriting as before. Part 2 begins when you open the second box. I haven't opened it yet. But I will. I can feel it calling to me. And whatever's inside wants out. Then I open the second box. I wish I hadn't. The wax paper peeled away like skin, moist, warm, sticking to my fingers. Inside was something small. Something that looked like it had once been alive. A tooth, blackened and cracked. A clump of hair, still damp. A slip of paper, slick with blood. There were only 2 words scrawled on it in smeared ink. Let me. No punctuation. No explanation. Just that. Everything changed after that. The lights no longer worked. The air grew still, heavy like a held breath. Shadows moved even when nothing else did. I couldn't leave. I tried. Doors opened into brick walls. Windows showed only endless black. The sky outside was wrong. It pulsed like a heartbeat, slow and massive. The apartment had become something else. Somewhere else. Then I saw my reflection again. Only it wasn't mine. It moved out of sync. Tilted its head before I did. Then smiled, slow, wide, wrong. I blinked. It didn't. And when I opened my eyes again, it was gone. But the mirror remained fogged, as if someone had been breathing on the other side. And written in the condensation, scrawled by a crooked finger. Almost ready. The figurine returned. I woke up with it on my chest. Heavy. Its head was now turned, facing me. Its wooden mouth was open in a silent scream, carved in jagged detail. Inside its mouth was another note. This one said, "You are the door." The hallway came alive. The one behind the closet. It breathed now, walls pulsing like lungs. A low sound came from it, almost like a heartbeat. But I realized it wasn't a hallway anymore. It was a throat. And I was already inside. The final instruction. There was one last note. Folded and tucked under my tongue when I woke up this morning. I hadn't put it there. I unrolled it with trembling fingers. Bring someone else. Or stay with me. I chose to stay. I didn't want to drag anyone into this. No one deserves it. No one but me. So I sat in the middle of the apartment. I turned off every light. I placed the figurine in front of me. And I whispered, "I'm ready." The walls sighed. The air went still. And then, it stepped through me. Not around. Through. Like I was a veil being parted. My skin split without bleeding. My bones stretched and bent. My mouth tore wide open, far too wide. I could feel it filling me, taking my place. I watched from somewhere far behind my own eyes. As it blinked, as it flexed my hands, as it turned to the mirror and smiled. Now I sit still, a shell, watching, waiting. The thing wearing my body is logged into my laptop. It has reopened the same dark web market. It just placed another order. A mystery box. It's typing in a new address. Yours. You will hear the knock soon. Don't answer it. No matter what. Too late. They already know your name. And they're standing right behind you.